This is why you should watch League One Volleyball.
Obviously, the biggest part about it is the play is very, very good.
Yep. I think this is, for American volleyball, this is the highest women's level you're going to get. It's a lot harder to watch international volleyball. I'm sure everyone who's tried knows. So being able to watch these games pretty easily, it's really nice to see this high-level volleyball.
And I think obviously the high level of volleyball, it comes from the founding players, and that means that you got plenty of Olympic athletes that are playing in this. So there's a lot of fans that can follow because of you're probably going to be watching the Olympics, so you know a lot of those players. And there's a lot of really big name players that aren't in the Olympics, and it's really fun to watch for them.
Yeah, I think it's also good because this is kind of the Olympic pipeline type of league.
That's how it feels.
Yeah, so a lot of these, especially younger players that you're seeing in League One, these are the players that you're going to see trying to make it onto the national team for the future moving forward. We have a lot of aging out players from this past quad, so it's good to watch this league so you can keep your eye on the future stars of USA volleyball.
And I think that is perfect to look at the League One, or it's the Love 6 is how they called it, right? And I think that was one of the big selling points that I would believe is how they would try and get a lot of the college fans to watch League One.
I don't even think the term leagues or League 6, Love 6 matters anymore, because as the season's gone on, they've added more and more young players. Yeah. So there's just a lot of young players to keep your eye on in this league.
Yeah, and it's been really fun. I think, those 6 in particular have looked very, very good whenever they step on the court. So it's interesting to see the clash of some of the international players that they brought in, obviously Olympic athletes, and even the young guns that they brought in as well.
Yeah. And it is those 6, but we don't want to exclude Rachel Fairbanks. We don't want to exclude Sammy Francis, who just came in. So some more young players to keep your eye on. But as for what it doesn't have, what it may be lacking compared to some of the other leagues, is kind of, I think that fan base atmosphere is something that you're missing. League One right now is one big organization, so there isn't exactly any unique team identity for any of their single city teams. So everyone's kind of rooting for League One as a whole for the most part. You're going to watch League One volleyball. You're not necessarily going to support your hometown team. So that would be the one kind of atmosphere thing to watch out for if you're trying to pick between leagues.
Yeah, I think you would only really notice it when you're contrasting between the PVF.
Yeah.
But
I think this is the contrast between the PVF and the NCAA men's. I think they don't necessarily have that unique fan base per city type thing.
For sure. And hopefully that's what can happen moving forward. Maybe in the next season. I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen. Maybe just with more time, fans can grow a little bit more for each city. So we'll have to see what's going to look like going forward.
Yeah, but for the remainder of the season, that's just something to watch out for. I think the other thing that you'd want to look out for when it comes to League One is that sometimes the atmosphere of the games or the energy of the players on the games can be a little bit more friendly between them versus some of the other leagues where, especially NCAA men's, where you really see them kind of yapping at each other.
Yeah, they're going at it. There's stare downs across the net, stuff like that.
Yeah, doesn't necessarily happen. Jordan Thompson does do it from time to time. Haley Washington's very good at it, but it's hard to tell if it happens. Tia Jimerson also gives a lot of attitude, but it's hard to tell. Sometimes you'll see a lot more laughing between the net versus like real, almost animosity like sometimes happens in the NCAA.
Yeah, and I guess I would say that's more, is it catered to someone's cup of tea? If they prefer that, if they want more of the animosity, maybe just more competitiveness, which can be good for sure for the game. So we'll see how that keeps going forward. I think it's in a decent balance so far, where I think in the beginning of the season it looked more friendly, and now it's gotten a little bit more competitive, and they're going at each other more.
Yeah, now that playoffs and a little bit more money is on the line, I think everyone's locking in a little bit more.
Yeah,
I think that kind of does it for League One, our pros and cons for them, but that atmosphere conversation will take us on to the PVF.